Alright guys, while browsing this little box where I keep old electronics and movies and whatnot, I stumbled upon something that I didn't remember I had, and that is this. So many memories attached to this little object. For starters, back in the day when you had flip phones, and if you got mad at someone, you could just be like, just shut it, end the call. And now, if you have a phone that has a really bad touchscreen, you're pretty much screwed. But at some point, we used to have buttons. And I remember being in school, and I was like, that phone is so pretty. I don't even like pink, but I want it. There was the pink one and the silver one. And then I thought, I like silver because I have seen that the touchpad, I can't call it a touchpad, but keyboard, the light on it is blue. And I thought that on the pink one, the backlight was pink. But when I got the phone, I was disappointed because that turned out to be entirely wrong. But I just remember thinking it was particularly beautiful. Like, look at the size, look at the design, and I was particularly fond of this design right here. Like, that was a little, it would rise right here, and it was just excellent for its time. But I remember how very easy it was for me to get sore fingers texting with this keyboard. And I wasn't a big texter because I had Verizon, and they didn't have a plan that was either affordable or just general on the budget for us at the time. I never had a lanyard to go on it or anything, but I always wanted it. And I just remembered that I liked to pick my outfits to fit my phone, even though no one would call me. And with Verizon, I could only make free calls after 9 p.m. But who did that, right? So there's the little charging now window, and then the camera, which I am afraid it has suffered some damage. I don't know why my phone looks so beat up. I don't remember dropping it like that. But anyway, back in the day when you could drop your phone and you didn't have to worry about it instantly breaking. But in addition, back in the day when you had access to your phone battery, and you could very easily replace it, and you didn't have to go through so much trouble. Shoot, let's see what it looks like. Removed. Nothing major. I know that there's like a strip that if it changes color, it means it's damaged. And then in here, I guess there's like some kind of SIM card or something. But we ain't gonna do all that. I'm not going to remove the sticker. But it says now unable to charge. I've never done this before, come to think of it. But it's neat that the thing can still come on, even if there's no battery. I didn't know that. But anyway, as soon as I put the battery on it, it goes back to doing what it was doing. And on top of that, something else that I am a fanatic of is my block is being used by another charger. But this is the Apple cord that I get with my phone. Now this is what we used to get back in the good old days. This makes a whole lot of sense. And what's sad is that this is significantly longer, but at the time I used to not use the phone that much. And now that I actually need a cord this long, I don't get them that long. And if I do, they're usually expensive, and it's just nonsensical to me. But anyway, so my phone has come to life, and the background name that I have is so embarrassing. But I have a picture of what used to be my pet at the time. His name was Nico. And I am surprised to see that this actually says the proper date. It says Saturday, April 25th, and it's 12:03 p.m. and yeah, it's set to vibrate mode. That is insane. And the reception bar has like two sections to it. There's like EV on the top, can't really see it, but it says EV, and then the 1X that we're all accustomed to. But yeah, the middle, my keyboard, I just realized it lost the little like the little circle thing that goes there. But yeah, it's set to vibrate. I can set it to low, medium, high. I'm gonna set it to low. Listen to that. Holy crap. My last phone call was on a July 31st at 2:55. This is unbelievable. So collectively, all calls that I have registered in here, the grand total of time that I spent using this was, I guess it's 460 hours with 56 minutes and 5 seconds. My received calls were 146 hours, 47 minutes and 52 seconds, and my dialed calls were 314 hours with 8 minutes and 13 seconds. 1 minute and 24 seconds of roaming. 214 kilobytes transmitted. Received 42. Total kilobytes 256. And yeah, that shows my lifetime calls and reset. I have never reset. Lifetime data counter 256 kilobytes. This phone has processed more than 1 terabyte of data. So it's unbelievable how limited the capacity for this was, but at the time I used to think it was maximum. And yeah, I remember making the sacrifice occasionally of sending horrible quality pictures to my email to then post to my social media at the time, before I had a digital camera, which was good old MySpace. There's a lot of contacts here that I just ain't contacts with, and there are some names that I vaguely remember because I gave people nicknames. I'm pretty sure most of these people have changed their phones by now. Shoot. 31 inbox messages. I'm so sad that this doesn't tell me what year stuff happened, unless I'm missing it. No, it doesn't tell me what year this happened. And then, yeah, how crazy. I'm glad that I pulled this up and the messages are still there, because some of this stuff is worthy of going into my journal. I remember what year this was now. This was 2011. Because I remember I was on vacation somewhere and I just saw the reference for it. That's wild. And I kind of remember that because I remember when I got my other phone, which was the one that I had before my iPhone. It was one of those phones that you could slide and it had the keyboard on it. And yeah. Let's see. I remember some sounds. I remember doing that. And then speakerphone was this button. I liked using that when I was at home because it's really loud. Then do that, do that. I don't know why I loved that. And of course, I used to use the keypad as like a musical instrument. It's wild. Like, something like that. I remember it took me a while to get used to those buttons because those buttons are like, you know, flat, really, really flat. It was like the preliminary stage to touchscreen. Let me see that camera. Holy crap. I mean, look at that camera go. It's slow as hell. Fuck me. Let me see what pictures I have. Oh, that is so retro. Like, look at that Verizon logo. Whoever picked that? Did anyone truly pick that? That is actually my childhood Easter bunny. It's fake, of course. Whoever chose that background, we can't be friends. And that too. Nobody used that. I'm pretty sure. I know I didn't. That I definitely used a few times. I like that. It's like a beach setting, tropical setting, pristine waters. Oh yeah, it says it right there, tropical. Who would use that? For real. You have to be another kind of, I don't know, maybe hipster. Is that considered hipster? It says seductive. How weird. I cannot imagine anyone using that one either. But if it didn't have the circle thing going on, I would have probably used it. But I know for a fact I never used it. It's called reveal. That. How boring. I wouldn't use that. It's called minimal. That. I guess that's sequin. It's called glisten. It's boring. That. Who would use an entire, like, random people background? It's called generation. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that those people are people who are like 50 plus. Those people are probably gone by now. Or some of them at least. That, I cannot say I used it, but it's nature oriented, so I would definitely use it. But it's called friendship. This is called fantastic. I guess it's a really, I don't know what you call it. Like, that art term that means it's not real. Anyway, this says facet. It looks like canyon rings to me. Probably is, but kind of poor quality. Now this I did use a few times. Elegance, flowers. This I used a couple times too. Sunset over a bridge, pretty neat. That one's called Dusk. Culture, I guess it's more Asian themed or something. And then Blast, I used that a couple times. And then I remember thinking that whatever backgrounds came with this phone were exclusive, but I remember having, it was either the predecessor to this phone. Yeah, it must have been. It had those backgrounds. And then the phones that I started having after this one, I actually liked them a little better because the resolution was so much better in spite of them being flip phones. Ooh, and something cool that I also liked about this is you could press one of the buttons out here and the camera would come on. Or you could take a picture with this closed. Yeah. This was the original selfie lens. You can activate the camera, close the lid, and then use that as your rear camera. Yeah, it's difficult to see, but you just need to trust me that the camera is working. So that was the first take at a selfie. And of course, my reflection coming from the camera has changed a little since the time I owned this. But it's cool to see that I have some old pictures here. And then I took a picture with my digital camera and sent it to my phone. And yeah, that made all the difference in the world. So I'm glad that I tried that out. Really, really, really neat. Yep. And then there is no way I could have achieved that using my regular phone camera. I'm just so glad to see that I have pictures of cats that I had forgotten about. That was like the second female cat I ever had. She was a baby and she was a gem, a bad gem. And then this cat, my second black cat ever. I kind of tend to forget about him. This was the first Tabbers I had. I'm not sure if I ever told you guys this story. And yeah, adorable, cute. I think he was a medium hair. But then he ended up getting hit by a car. And I remember his freaking eyeball was like out of his socket when I saw his body on the road. I was a sad cookie. But yeah, this has been an experience. My 13 sent messages. I sent more messages than that. But I remember how frustrating it was to have messages not sent with this thing. And of course you can take video, but I think it was probably like 30-second capable. We ain't even gonna try that. We just ain't. Color effects, normal, antique. It has normal, antique, black and white, negative. Who uses negative? Shoot, it's even hard to display an example with it. And then brightness. I'm just tripping by how slow it is to keep up with you, you know? But at the time, this used to be that shit. Oh, I remember personalizing that little page. The colors in the menu used to be a little paler, and I made them bolder. This was definitely flexible in that department. And of course, my biggest fear was accessing the internet by accident, because it would have been mad expensive and you wouldn't even be able to get anything done. Get the app. I actually know the definition of apps now. See, it would look kind of like that. And yeah. And you could get very, very, very little done. But some of my classmates were having access to that. They were paying to have that service. And then they would tell me, oh yeah, I did this and that over the phone. And I'm like, I cannot imagine a life in which I'm using my phone to access the internet. You had to buy Pac-Man or run the demo. And then you also have Tetris. This is a demo version. You may purchase the app by selecting buy now. I did not know this in my entire time owning this phone. I did not know this. I did not know I had games. Holy crap. How do you even play this? Okay, it really accelerates it. Oh, if I push the up button, it drops immediately. Like that. If I push clear, it's pause. Let's see, help. press the horizontal lines to... How do I flip the shape? Oh, okay, I gotta press the number 3. Huh. That is insane. I had this phone for about... Well, I owned it interrupted for a year before it got stolen. And then I got it again for about another year. So I cumulatively had it for 2 years. And I never knew I had games. I am just mind blown right now. Let's see what Pac-Man looks like just while we're here. It says it has 3 plays left. Whoa. That is insane. That is truly insane. VCast music, ringtones. I remember for people the coolest thing in their phone was to have a ringtone with like their favorite song or something. Whoa, synchronized music. I remember recording your own sounds. I used to place this as close as possible to speakers and record that and see if I could use it as a ringtone. I don't think you could. And this has music library. Holy crap. Voicemail, email, mobile IM, instant messaging. I never used that. Speed dials. I remember that mess. Who was my number 1? My number 1 was the apartment place. My number 2 was mom. My number 3 was one of my teachers. And that's crazy. That's crazy. Let's see what my account says. Oh, to access my account, I need the internet. Tools, voice commands. I never used that. Voice recognition activating. 2006 voice signal. Shit. I remember you used to dial the special number and it would tell you how many minutes and whatnot you have used. Notepad, calculator, world clock. I like the world clock. I used to just use it for no reason. Ticket trip around the world. Bluetooth. Add new device. Let's try something crazy. Let's see if my phone will pick it up. I have it in discoverable mode. Let's see what happens. I'm very, very curious. I highly doubt this will be recognizable. Okay, now it's searching. I guess I gotta wait for that to load. We're gonna wait for that to load. It actually found my cell phone. It says enter passkey. What is my passkey? 4 digits. It's definitely not my hotspot password. Oh, could it be my password for my phone? But that's 8 digits. My phone passkey? I don't know what it could be. Passkey incorrect. Maybe the last 4 of my phone number? Incorrect. Let me try my mom's number. Device pairing incomplete. That is insane. This is capable of finding my phone. Like it's right there, but of course I'm not gonna show the name of it. That is so wild. I actually understand and know how to do this now. That is so cool. Now, it never appeared on my phone, but that's quite neat. I'm mind blown. It's like I'm taking a trip in time, but as a person from the future, it's tripping me. Ooh, let's listen to some ringtones. I used that one maybe one time. I remember hating bells. Okay, it doesn't sound as bad as another one. I like that. That's okay. I used that one on a few occasions. It ends in da 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 da. I used that a couple times too. I remember that noise. I remember that classic noise. I never used that one. Definitely never used that one. Oh, this is the one that I hate. It rings. Yeah, because it's really loud. I'm not even gonna play it. I remember that. I used it maybe 2 times. I never used that one. This one used to scare the mess out of me because, you know, it sounds like so sudden. I never used that one. Definitely never used that one. Nope. This was the version of the Verizon tone that I actually liked. I think that used to be my texting tune. Never used it. Never used it. My original RAZR used to have a song called Nova. I liked that one. When I got this phone again and it wasn't there, I was one devastated cookie. One devastated cookie. Power on. Oh, this is gonna be irritating. Like when the phone pronounces keypad digits. Huh, that's wild. Let's see what happens when I turn it off. Okay, I got rid of the noise that comes with it. Now, what I like is that you can leave the device off and it'll charge. Whereas this piece of shit doesn't. If you plug this while it's completely shut down, it'll come back on. I hate that. Hate that. Well, guys, that's pretty much it from me. I hope you enjoyed me revisiting my past technologically. I almost don't want to try to get rid of it, but let's face it, I know for a fact I'm never gonna use this again. And a part of me wants to keep it, but at the same time, it's not like it's very useful. I guess maybe in case of emergency, I could dial 911. Maybe this phone is like every phone ever that you can dial even if it doesn't have service. But it's never charged, so I think it's wasteful. But at least I have tried it out. I have proven that it works, and yeah, I could go through it and journal about a certain things in here, and maybe even write down those phone numbers just for memory's sake. But yeah, this was wild. Megapixels. Pretty wild. Very. This is how it compares, yo. This is a plus size phone in case you wonder. But even when it's open, it's not as big as my phone. Well, it kind of is. Hold on. Yeah, it's slightly taller, but not by much. This was interesting. I'm really glad I dug this up and it occurred to me to make a video about it. My hands have definitely grown since I last held this phone. Ever so slightly. But yeah. Huh. I have a lot to process. Gray and pink make a good match. Alright guys, well let me know what was your favorite dino phone. And which was your first phone ever? This was my first phone ever, so I was pretty spoiled, I guess. But yeah, tell me some stories. I would love to hear them. Alright guys, I'll see you soon.